Rewiring your mind for greatness is not something that happens overnight. It's a daily, intentional battle that starts the moment you wake up and decide who you're going to be. Most people are walking around with a mindset that was built by fear, failure, and other people's opinions. And then they wonder why they can't break through to the next level. But here's the truth. If you don't take control of your mind will take control of you. Every negative thought, every doubt, every excuse is like a program running in the background, holding you back from your true potential. Rewiring your mind means you have to become aware of those patterns and then aggressively replace them with thoughts that serve your growth. You can't keep telling yourself you're tired, you're not ready, or you're not good enough and expect greatness to show up in your life. Greatness demands a different language, a different mindset, a different standard. It requires you to speak power into your life even when everything around you feels uncertain. It means waking up every day and choosing discipline over comfort, focus over distraction, and purpose over excuses. You've got to train your mind like an athlete trains their body, with repetition, intensity, and consistency. That means doing the hard things when you don't feel like it, pushing through when your emotions are telling you to quit, and staying locked in when the world is trying to pull you in 100 different directions. The process is not easy, and it's not supposed to be. Pain, struggle, and discomfort are part of the transformation. Every time you push past your limits, every time you refuse to give up, you are literally reshaping your mindset and building a stronger version of yourself. Too many people run away from the pain, but the pain is where the growth lies. You have to embrace it, learn from it, and use it as fuel. Rewiring your mind also means being extremely intentional about what you feed it. What you watch, what you listen to, who you surround yourself with, all of it matters. If you're constantly feeding your mind negativity, distractions, and low-level thinking, you're programming yourself for mediocrity. But if you fill your mind with vision, knowledge, and positivity, you start to operate at a higher level. Over time, those repeated actions and thoughts begin to shape your identity. You don't just act disciplined, you become disciplined. You don't just think positively, you become a positive force, and that's when everything starts to change. Opportunities look different, challenges feel different, and your confidence begins to rise because you've proven to yourself over and over again that you can do hard things. At the end of the day, rewiring your mind for greatness is about taking full ownership of your life. No more blaming your past, your circumstances, or other people. It's about recognizing that you have the power to change your story, but only if you're willing to put in the work every single day. It's not about perfection, it's about progress. It's about showing up, staying consistent, and refusing to settle for anything less than your best. Because once you change your mind, you change your life. Rewiring your mind for greatness requires one thing that most people try to avoid: discipline at a level that becomes your lifestyle, not just a temporary effort. Everybody talks about motivation, but motivation is unreliable. It comes and goes based on how you feel. Greatness, on the other hand, is built on what you do when you don't feel like doing anything at all. That's where the real rewiring happens. When you force yourself to get up early, when you push through fatigue, when you stay focused while others are distracted, you are literally training your brain to operate on a higher standard. Your mind starts to understand that excuses are no longer accepted, that comfort is no longer the priority, and that results are the only thing that matter. This shift doesn't happen by accident, it happens through intentional repetition. Every time you choose discipline over distraction, you strengthen a new mental pathway that makes it easier to do it again the next time. That's how habits are built, and eventually that's how identity is formed. You go from trying to be disciplined to becoming a disciplined person. And once that identity locks in, everything about you changes: how you think, how you act, how you respond to challenges. You stop negotiating with yourself, you stop making excuses, you start executing no matter what. But let's be real, this process is uncomfortable. Rewiring your mind means letting go of old habits, old beliefs, and even old versions of yourself. It means saying no to things that once felt normal and yes to things that feel difficult and unfamiliar. That discomfort is where most people quit, but that's also where greatness is born. You have to understand that your brain is designed to keep you safe, not to make you great. It wants familiarity, routine, and comfort, so when you start pushing beyond that, it will resist. It will tell you to slow down, to take a break, to go back to what's easy. But you can't listen to that voice if you want to elevate. You have to override it with purpose. You have to remind yourself why you started, what you're chasing, and who you're becoming. And you have to do it daily, because this is not a one-time decision. It's a commitment you make every single day. Another critical part of rewiring your mind is controlling your environment. You cannot expect to think like a high-level individual if you're constantly surrounded by low-level energy. The people you spend time with, the content you consume, the conversations you engage in, they all shape your mindset. If you're around negativity, doubt, and laziness, it will eventually rub off on you. But if you surround yourself with growth, ambition, and positivity, you start to absorb that energy and reflect it in your own actions. This doesn't mean you have to cut everyone off, but it does mean you have to be intentional about what influences you. Protect your mind like it's your most valuable asset, because it is. Feed it with knowledge, inspiration, and vision every single day. Build routines that support your growth, not your comfort. At the end of the day, rewiring your mind for greatness is about consistency over intensity. It's not about going all in for a week and then falling off. It's about showing up every single day, even when it's hard, even when it's boring, even when you don't see results yet. Because results take time, but transformation starts immediately. Every disciplined action, every focused moment, every decision to keep going when you want to quit, it's all adding up. You may not see it right away, but your mindset is shifting, your habits are improving, and your identity is evolving. And one day, you'll look back and realize that you're no longer the person who struggled to stay consistent. You're the person who refuses to give up. That's when you know your mind has been rewired, and that's when greatness becomes not just a goal, but your reality. Rewiring your mind for greatness demands that you completely change your relationship with pain, because pain is no longer something you run from. It becomes something you chase. Most people spend their lives trying to avoid discomfort, trying to find the easiest path, the least resistance, the quickest escape from anything that feels hard. But greatness doesn't live in comfort. It lives in struggle, in sacrifice, in those moments when everything inside you is screaming to stop, and you decide to keep going anyway. That's where the shift happens. That's where your mind begins to break out of its old patterns and step into a new level of strength. Every time you push through pain, you send a signal to your brain that you are capable of more than you thought. You expand your limits. You redefine what's possible for yourself. And over time, that repeated exposure to discomfort builds a mindset that doesn't fold under pressure. It thrives in it. You start to see challenges not as obstacles, but as opportunities to grow, to sharpen yourself, to prove to yourself that you're built differently. But let's be clear, this isn't just physical pain, it's mental and emotional too. It's the pain of discipline when you don't feel like showing up. It's the pain of staying consistent when results are slow. It's the pain of outgrowing people, habits, and environments that no longer align with your vision. That kind of pain cuts deeper because it forces you to confront who you are versus who you want to become. And that's not easy. It requires honesty, accountability, and a willingness to let go of comfort zones that once defined you. Rewiring your mind means you stop identifying with your old self, the one who procrastinated, who doubted, who settled, and you start stepping into a new identity, one that is focused, driven, and relentless. That transition is uncomfortable, but it's necessary. You can't become something new while holding on to everything old. Another powerful element in this process is visualization. If you can't see it in your mind, you'll never see it in your life. Your brain responds to what you consistently imagine, so if your thoughts are filled with failure, fear, and limitation, that's exactly what your actions will reflect. But if you start visualizing success, seeing yourself achieving your goals, overcoming obstacles, living at a higher level, you begin to align your mindset with that vision. It's not about daydreaming, it's about programming your mind with purpose. When you combine visualization with action, that's when things start to click. You're no longer just hoping for greatness, you're preparing for it, mentally and physically. You begin to move differently, think differently, and respond to situations with a higher level of confidence and clarity. And then there's consistency, the backbone of it all. You cannot rewire your mind by being on and off, motivated one day and lazy the next. Your brain learns through repetition, through patterns, through what you do over and over again. That means you have to show up every single day with intention, even when it feels like nothing is changing. Especially then, because those are the moments that test whether you're serious or just interested. Anybody can go hard when they feel good, but greatness is built by those who keep going when they feel nothing at all. You have to fall in love with the process, with the grind, with the daily effort that no one sees. That's how you build a mindset that doesn't rely on external validation or temporary motivation. At the end of the day, rewiring your mind for greatness is about becoming mentally unbreakable. It's about reaching a point where excuses no longer exist in your vocabulary, where quitting is not an option, and where your focus is so strong that distractions lose their power over you. It's about understanding that everything you want is on the other side of discipline, discomfort, and consistency. And once you truly accept that, once you commit to that level of growth, there's nothing that can stop you. Because you've already conquered the most important thing, your own mind. Rewiring your mind for greatness ultimately comes down to one powerful truth. You must become a new person through relentless repetition, because greatness is not something you achieve once. It's something you practice daily until it becomes who you are. Too many people wait for the perfect moment, the perfect mindset, or the perfect opportunity, but those things don't create greatness. Your habits do. Every single action you take is casting a vote for the person you are becoming. When you choose discipline over excuses, when you choose focus over distraction, when you choose growth over comfort, you are slowly but surely building a new identity. And identity is everything, because once your identity changes, your behavior follows automatically. You don't have to force yourself to do the right things anymore. It becomes natural, it becomes standard, it becomes non-negotiable. That's the power of rewiring your mind. You stop relying on motivation and start operating from who you believe you are. But here's the reality. This level of transformation requires patience and persistence at a level most people aren't willing to commit to. You're not just changing what you do, you're changing how you think, how you respond, and how you see yourself in the world. And that doesn't happen in a day, a week, or even a month. It happens through thousands of small, consistent actions that compound over time. It's waking up early when no one is watching. It's putting in the work when there's no immediate reward. It's staying locked in when progress feels slow and results seem invisible. Those are the moments that define you. Those are the moments where your mind is being reshaped, where your discipline is being tested, and where your commitment is either strengthened or broken. You have to decide every single day that you're going to stay the course no matter how long it takes. Another critical aspect of this journey is accountability. You cannot rewire your mind while constantly making excuses for your behavior. You have to take full ownership of your life, your wins, your losses, your habits, your mindset, everything. Blaming circumstances, blaming other people, or blaming your past will only keep you stuck in the same mental patterns. Greatness begins the moment you say, "This is on me." When you take that level of responsibility, you gain control. You stop waiting for things to change and start making changes happen. You become proactive instead of reactive. You start setting standards for yourself that are higher than what anyone else expects from you, and you hold yourself to them no matter what. That's how you build self-respect, and self-respect is a key part of a strong, rewired mindset. You also have to understand the importance of resilience. There will be setbacks, there will be failures, there will be moments where you question everything, but those moments are not the end of your journey, they are part of it. Rewiring your mind means learning how to respond to failure differently. Instead of seeing it as proof that you're not good enough, you see it as feedback, as a lesson, as an opportunity to improve. You don't stay down, you get back up, stronger and smarter than before. That's the difference between those who achieve greatness and those who don't. It's not that they never fail, it's that they never let failure define them. In the end, rewiring your mind for greatness is about creating a standard for your life that you refuse to drop below. It's about becoming so disciplined, so focused, and so committed that your old habits and limitations no longer have a place in your life. It's about building a mindset that is rooted in growth, fueled by purpose, and driven by consistency. And once you reach that point, you don't just chase greatness. You live it every single day.